All right, guys, what's going on? Jamie here. Just wanted to do another quick video for you guys. Got some new dApps that I'll talk about. Speaking to the developer last night when they launched them, and then he just hit me up again. I've been meaning to do this video. I actually wanted to do it last night, but had some things that came up. Good thing is, it doesn't really matter when you come into this contract. It's not a minor, it's more of a farm. Of course, that being said, if you can get in earlier, it's better than getting in later. So we'll talk about that in a second here. Of course, it goes without saying that everything I talk about on my channel is for entertainment purposes only. I'm certainly not giving you any type of financial advice. You should do your own research, do your own due diligence. If you decide to get in, make sure you only put in what you can afford to lose. Now, before we go into those dApps, guys, real quick, this is what's launching on Thursday. If you've been following what's been going on with not only Drip, but more the Manor Farm, there are a couple of different moving parts to this. So again, there are some people that are a little bit confused. This Thursday, what's launching is the Drip Liberation and the Drip Garden. After that, on January 4th, you're going to launch the farm. Okay, so why did they stagger the launch and not launch everything at the same time? I think it was the smart move because they want to give each part of this platform its own time, not only to shine, but so people can not get confused. When you launch too many things at the same time, it can get quite confusing. So, instead of launching the farm, launching the pools, launching the liberation, launching the garden, they decided to launch the liberation and the garden first. And then 2 weeks later, they're going to launch the farm. Now, after that, they're going to launch the layer 2 down the road. So we'll talk about those things as we get closer. Right now, do want to just bring this to your attention that the garden and the liberation is going to launch. Now, if you're going to get involved with this, definitely want to encourage you to go through the white paper. White paper is 25 pages. A lot of it goes into the rev token and the farm. But if you want to focus in on the liberation and the garden, you can go to page 9. Actually page 10, but page 9 talks about the partnership Drip. Now, again, this is a separate platform than the faucet. You don't have to get involved with one to get involved with the other. But you know me, when it comes to passive platforms, the more the better, right? So this is the partnership, guys. This year, Drip will be a major promotional vehicle for the farm. Drip Network brings the farm immediate exposure to thousands of investors, depositors, whatever you want to call them. This is something I've been talking about now for a while. Drip will see a spike in demand as a new use case is introduced, as well as through shared promotion. The farm will incentivize farmers to add BUSD liquidity to Drip, giving Drip price appreciation, as well as a deeper level of decentralization and stability. So again, when people put BUSD into the liberation, half of that will go into buying Drip because it's going to create an LP token. So that in and of itself caused the price of Drip to pump, right? At least on paper, right? And then but the fact that it's paired with a stability token or stable token, BUSD, it should decrease the volatility. Not that volatility is bad. Some of you guys like volatility. Actually, you like volatility when it's going up. You don't like volatility when it's going down. But you can't have one without the other. But, there are people that just like the coin to be somewhat stable and they get their 1% from the faucet. So this is going to help those people. Again, I'm not going to read this word for word. You should go through this. This is the Drip Liberation. It's going to allow you to create the LP token without going to Pancake Swap and paying the 10% transaction fee. And then this is the garden, formerly known as the miner. Now, if you're in miners or if you've been in miners, then this is going to be pretty familiar, right? The Drip Garden produces 3% daily. It's going to start off at 3% daily, and then it's going to change and fluctuate depending on if you're compounding, if you're withdrawing. You are going to get rewarded if you compound more. But again, if you're familiar with miners, you probably already know that. Now, it says here that there's something in the algorithm that will allow people to, it's not, you don't have to get in at the very second it launches. You can get in a little bit later and you should be okay. However, as with anything in crypto, it always pays to get in the sooner, the better, right? So this here talks about the sustainability. Whoops. What happened? Did I just lose that? Oh, well. Let me go back. So here's the sustainability, right? So it says your existing miner protocols are designed so the first person who enters the contract can deposit 1% of the capital without enough buying power to withdraw almost all of the capital which comes in after it. It's an unfair system. The drip garden is a true game where all players start out relatively equal, and what determines your payout is how often you compound versus how often you withdraw. Okay. And then, of course, as I already mentioned, it even says here in the white paper, it is still, however, best to get in early. So again, this thing launches on Thursday. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we get closer to that. I will leave a link down below. It's on BSC, of course, just like drip. But yeah, that's what's coming up here in the next couple of days. So let me switch over to Crow real quick. Let me switch over to Cronos Network. Okay. And head on over to VVS Finance. Now I am farming a little bit here on VVS Finance. I'm going to withdraw the VVS here because this new DApp that I'm going to show you takes VVS. But if you aren't interested in putting in VVS, there's the same identical DApp that takes wrapped Crow. Okay. So let me go ahead and harvest this right here. I have my VVS in several different farms. I'm going to go ahead and take this out just to show you how this works. Pretty straightforward. Again, if you've been on, these farmers over on BSC, this is no different. But again, the developer did hit me up about this yesterday, and I'm pretty confident with platforms that he puts out because, he's launched several different miners, several different ROI contracts in the past, and they've always done pretty well, assuming you get in at the beginning, right? If you get in on the tail end of anything, it's never going to be a good thing. So if you can get in on the beginning, and he's created several different platforms already that have done well in the past. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw some VVS into this thing. So give me 1 second. Let me just make sure this thing is running. Okay, good. All right, so I was able to harvest that. And then I'm going to head on over to right here. It's called MyCronos Yield Farm or something like that. Let me just connect it. Okay, so this launched last night, still very new. As you can see here, you can get 7.8% all the way up to 17% daily. It's not a miner, right? So again, you don't have to get in at the very, very second it launches. However, it is an ROI contract, so the earlier you can get in, the better. So with this, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me just see here. All right, so I have 8.6 million VVS. Sounds like a lot, but it's like 600 bucks, almost 600 bucks, right? So I'm just gonna type that in, the deposit amount. Okay. About almost 600 bucks, right? Now, again, you can play with this how you like. If you want to have a smaller, amount of days, you can play with this right here. It'll give you the different ROIs. It'll give you different profit. So for this one here, let's just say it runs for 10 days. I'm just going to put 10 days. This is going to give me 13.4% daily. Total profit will be 34% profit on top of the 100% that I put in. So 34% on top of my initial deposit. Again, you can play with this as you see fit. If you want it to go a little bit longer, your total profit will go up, your daily ROI will go down, and vice versa if you make it less, right? A shorter period of time. I'm just going to go ahead and approve that. And that should be it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, again, if you don't have any VVS or you have no interest in putting VVS in, but you have Crow, they do have the same exact DApp where you can put in wrapped Crow. So it says your transaction successful. There you go, done deal. Okay. So here's the same exact, same exact DApp. This one takes in Crow. So let me go ahead and pause it. So I'm gonna put in 1,000 wrapped Crow. Let me get some wrapped Crow first of all. That's about $600 worth. So we go over to VVS, Crow. I want wrapped Crow. 1,000 Crow. Wrap that. So VVS is like the pancake swap, right? Or the Uniswap for the Cronos network. A couple of other swaps out there, of course, but this one looks pretty smooth. So that's approved right there. Here. Again, same thing. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 10 days. That's going to give me 13.4%, 34%. Again, this is all risky stuff. This is a pure ROI contract, guys. So will it run for 10 days? I don't know. We'll see. That's the whole gamble, right? The whole gamble is, will it run for, the amount of time? I don't need it to run for 10 days. Of course, if it runs for a little bit less, as long as I hit 100%, then obviously I'll be able to pull out my initial deposit. But if it runs for 10 days, I'll make 34% pure profit on top of what I put in, right? So let me approve that. Just want to kind of get this video out real quick, and then I'll come back and circle, and I'll probably throw in a little bit more, but wanted to get this video out. It's, already 1:15. I've just been super busy this whole morning. Let me make sure this thing is working good. Okay, let me refresh this. There you go. I don't think I was connected. Go back. There you go. Wallet wasn't connected. And that's it. Pretty much, once this is done, I'll start to collect my dividends. So again, these are some ROI contracts, dApps over on Cronos if you want to get involved. If not, it's up to you. Of course, do your own research. Only put in what you can afford to lose, guys. But yeah, for me, I like to have multiple contracts, multiple platforms, multiple, whatever you want to call them, feeding me crypto every which way, every single day. That's my thing. So anyway, follow me on Telegram, guys. I will leave a link for that down below. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon so you'll get notified straight away whenever I do a brand new video. And yeah, I'll leave links down below for all these different platforms. All right, guys, I'll catch you soon. Peace.